Not one, no. This is like a million years ago. I've been married for 25 years. I have kids. I run a family. People change. Memoirs from a Broken Heart. Book 1. The funniest book on the planet known to man. And I'm going to prove that right now. I'm going to read the introduction, and you guys will love it. This is not available anywhere in the world. It is out of print. I have 10 copies left. Once we blow up a million subscribers and so forth, I will auction off the 10 copies I have. You will not only get to bid on the last 10 copies of Memoirs, third printing, but as part of the auction bid, some lucky lady is going to be able to go on a date with me. I just came up with that. It's a good idea, right? For me, anyway. How come you don't get like overly excited, Bobby? I bet if like, oh, your bonus this year is $1 million, I bet you'll get super excited. Oh, fuck yeah, $1 million. No, still even keel?
I don't know. It's just how I am, I guess.
It's good. It's okay because even keel is fine. It's better than being crazy. Okay, you don't want to be crazy. You don't want to be. People will just feel you're entertaining them all the time. You won't get paid for it. I'm not talking about me, but it might as well be me. Memoirs from a Broken Heart, Book 1, already in its third printing. I sold over 100,000 copies. In fact, when I did a book signing at a Barnes & Noble, back when this came out, if that particular bookstore, the third book in the Harry Potter series came out at the same time this came out. So whatever bookstore I was at doing a book signing, I actually sold more books of book 1 than that particular Harry Potter book the first week it came out, the third book in the series. How about that? But of course, that had a lot to do with me, my charm, charisma. Keep it going, right? Okay. Let me know when you're ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Memoirs from a Broken Heart, Book 1. Here we go. A memoir trilogy. Even though there was never a third book, there was only Book 1 and Book 2. Kind of like left eye, right eye. We don't have a third eye, most of us. Salt, pepper, North Pole, South Pole. It was meant for it only to be Book 1, Book 2. These memoirs are dedicated to my one true love, Claudia. I know we have many obstacles to overcome. The expressed opinions, feelings, and stories contained in these memoirs do not belong in any way to the author, Tony Rockman. All stories, including every single word in these memoirs, belong exclusively, solely, and strictly to the anonymous, deranged person who shall remain nameless that this book is based on. It is written in first person to abide by the wishes of said criminal and simply for dramatic effect. With that in mind, and again releasing the author, who compiled these memoirs from tedious dictation and cumbersome first-hand research of all liabilities possibly resulting from this literature, I will begin. Introduction. I fucked it up already. I'm sitting here with a very sick and empty feeling, as if I've literally lost an arm or a leg. This takes me back. I've lost another sweet, loving girlfriend, not to death, even though it might as well be, but to circumstance and fate. Everyone says it wasn't meant to be, but I don't accept that. Even though she repeatedly has said that she hates me, refuses to speak to me, has called the cops on me, and put a restraining order on me to keep me away. I have not given up. If it seems like I'm utterly focused on this girl, it's because I am. Thinking about her, no matter how detrimental to my well-being, is one of the few devices of control I have left, and I nurture it. I just haven't let go, and I never will. I refuse to. No matter how bad I look and how low I get, I can't give up because I'm dying to get back what I once had, even though the odds are near impossible. I'm like Jeff Goldblum in the movie The Fly. He once had this tremendous woman on his side, but as he turned into the fly, he became woefully desperate, and what everyone could see except him was a futile effort. He alienated the girl, then scared her to death, and even when he knew it was over, he still persevered because that's the definition of desperation. Pulling at anything because there's nothing left. My girl was my everything, my best friend, my closest and only companion, the best lover I've ever had by far, and the sweetest, most innocent girl I've ever had the utmost pleasure of knowing. Writing this makes me feel like running out right now and going to her side, but there's so much more I need to profess before I am judged. How is it so far? Brilliant? Of course. The fact that she was so very innocent makes my situation that much harder. She was a virgin when I met her. She didn't know how to hold my hand, let alone anything greater. She kissed like an ostrich because she had never done it before. I taught her everything, absolutely everything you can imagine except bondage. She blossomed into a marvelously beautiful young woman at 27 years old. Ironically, she started to kiss amazingly well just weeks before dumping me. She had braces for the whole 2 years I was with her. I thought she'd eventually get her braces off and be that much sweeter looking afterward for me, her future husband. I forgot she had braces. Fuck. I never dreamed in my wildest dreams that she would break up with me at that point. At the point she had her braces removed and would smile her now perfection for others. And would smile her now perfection for others. I'll be damned if I allow her to live her life without me. I know you love this shit. She was meant for me, and that's the only alternative I see. I should have died when she broke up with me because I'm simply paralyzed without her and don't have the will to live anymore. I'm willing to die. The very thought of her with another man drives me. But I don't desire to get off quite so early on a tangent. So I'll continue with the introduction of how I met the only girl for me. Without her, I want no other. I was working at a Toyota dealership as a salesman when I met her. She had gorgeous hair, which was the first thing I noticed about her. Out of 20-some salesman sharks pouncing on every soul walking the lot, it just so happened to be my great luck to have that particular at-bat. At-bat meaning you're up next, you get the next customer. I showed her a car on a busy Saturday afternoon. I remember that. Later, before she left, I proceeded to jot down her information, including her phone number, under false pretenses that I'd mail her information about her car of interest. The whole time, I was just plotting to ask her out. At the very beginning, when I met her, she used to have major facial hair covering her forehead and entire face. I took her to her mom. Oh, I'm sorry. That came later. I took her to my mom, a hair salon owner, to pluck every strand of facial hair and turned her into a woman that now turns men's heads. How dare she leave me? I imagined her being my wife one day, and nothing less than that. That's why I was patient with her, and she enormously patient with me. I asked her out. The rest is history. I never had a better girlfriend, hands down. She overwhelmingly was kinder, gentler, more caring and loving than any girl I had been with. She gave me full body massages after sex every day of my blessed life. I was meant to read this book, don't you think? She gave me full body massages after sex every day of my blessed life. She put my socks on for me and my shoes. She tied my shoelaces and she put my pants on for me. She did my checking, cashed my checks, paid for and picked up my dry cleaning. She paid for lunches, she paid for dinners, and she paid for day trips. She paid for my fuel in my car. I can go on forever. She was the ultimate. Whoever marries her will be extraordinarily lucky. Extraordinarily lucky. He will be the luckiest man on earth. I envy him. Who am I kidding? I'll die before that happens. Her vagina fit me like a latex glove. I never had anything like it. Only 5.5 months after we broke up. Could she possibly be sexual with another? It's possible that she entered another relationship so soon, even though the common consensus is that one-time virgins take 1 year after their first boyfriend to get into another relationship. Unless the pain from their first relationship is so unbearable that they jump on another man's jock as a distraction and or they're a slut tramp. But I'm not really angry at her because of one reason. It was completely 100% my fault. If I were her, I would have broken up with me a long time before she did. And so would any girl in the world. The only reason she endured my nonsense was because I was her first. And I was funny, charming, charismatic. Well, anyway, good looking. I had more hair. And for that taking of her purity, she'll be in my heart for eternity, whether I rot in hell or not. She'll be on my mind as I take my last breath of this life. Wait till the monologue of death. I'll always love her. Not that she cares. As for her enduring my nonsense, what I mean is that the whole time I was with her, I was lazy and I didn't work. I wasn't motivated or inspired. She was more frustrated than I was because she saw the potential in me and that I wasn't doing squat about it. That killed her. I don't blame her for leaving me, not one bit, nor would anyone else. I just sat there for 2 long years and did nothing. I am so guilty of messing up that the guilt alone is intolerable for me to handle. Everyone says that I should have beat myself up, that I shouldn't beat myself up, and just learn from it. But beating myself up oddly reduces the mountain of guilt somewhat. I did learn from it as far as trying to be financially stable and productive for my future, but I still want her back more than anything. All she ever wanted was security, and I wasn't man enough to provide it. It was totally in every way my fault. Other than my great stupidity of not moving my butt and making a life for us, she would be the first to tell anyone, well, maybe not anymore since she refuses to say my name, and refer to me in the restraining order with a triangle in substitution of my name, obviously means it's a sign she still loves me. I just added that shit right now. That I was the most loving boyfriend. And I was. How could I not have been? She was so very nice that I mirrored her abundance of generosity and sweetness by being incredibly nice as well. But unfortunately, no matter how good the good was, or is in many cases, the bad always and without a doubt towers over the good. Sure enough, in my case, no matter how funny I was, good looking, tall, no matter how warm and caring I was, I told her literally tens of thousands of original, never been told before jokes, the majority actually being funny. Although she laughed at everything I said anyway. And no matter how many romantic poems I wrote her for her birthday and homemade cards and on special occasions, it didn't matter in the end. Jokes, no matter how funny and how many, which I tossed on her on a daily basis for my successful but tragically unprofitable stand-up career, didn't make a life. It didn't make a life for us at all. I kick myself for it. What it really comes down to is, you're getting to know me, aren't you, Bobby? Good? What it really comes down to is that I have a horrible, debilitating fear of not being loved and being deprived of attention. It's why I drive a bright red car, not good, by the way, for mischievous activities, criminal shit. Do stand up on many stages and pout when others are on stage and not me. It is truly awful. I'm afraid of not finding someone to love me the same way she did. I'm terrified no one will ever love me as much or as good. She was the best sex I ever had. I fear that no one will have the same exact qualities that I loved in her. And even if I find someone with the same qualities, I won't want them. And instead, will still want her. And I fear that it wouldn't be the same. And it'll never be. This is the problem. This is why I'll never give up on my ex-girlfriend. Ever. In fact, when she was filing the restraining order, and I politely confronted her about it at the courthouse. An hour later, I went and purchased a very long overdue diamond engagement ring. I planned to present it to her at the restraining order hearing. I thought that would be reasonable, which was scheduled 3 weeks from that day to make the order permanent for 3 years. I never give up. I still had and still do have hope. Call me crazy, because it's crazy hope, an undying faith. But I'm persistent till the end and beyond. She was my girl. I can't imagine living without her forever. My friends say it's like beating a dead dog. Realistically, I figure one day in the very far future, if I'm still alive, I will give up and let her go and let go of her. When the law of diminishing returns takes effect, there will probably come the day when there will be no satisfaction left in stalking her, following her, thinking of her, getting revenge on her, nor checking up on her. It will outdo itself. I'll eventually tire of it when I see that there's absolutely nothing at all left to gain. I'm not a bad guy after all. Am I bad, Bobby? I don't think so. You can say it freely if I am. You can just tell me if I am. No, I'm good? Okay. I just want love the way I want it and from who I want it, and have a serious problem with letting go. On a regular basis, I pray to God to forgive me for all my sins. I sincerely pray and hope that those who I have wronged and those that I have trespassed against forgive me and have peace with me. I must admit, I start praying like crazy at the end of a relationship, not just out of convenience and to make myself feel better, but most importantly, I pray to God to give me the strength to leave people alone and not harass them. But I feel I must, as if it's in my blood. I can't stop doing it. I take sleeping pills to prevent myself from stalking. I take 7 or 8 pills, extra strength, to knock myself out, just so I won't leave the house and instead stay put. My head is logical and fairly reasonable, but my heart and soul is rebellious. I sometimes have a devilish spark inside of me that goes off without warning. My heart beats faster. I breathe harder, full of nervous energy, and I'm off doing my thing. At these moments, I just don't care, and anything can happen.
Anyways,
Don't worry, I'm not going to stalk you. You know this is bullshit, right? This is just for fun. It's fiction. People laugh.
I have to have a restraining order against you, right?
Not one, though. This is like a million years ago. I've been married for 25 years. I have kids. I run a family. People change.
Well, let's go.
Right, Bobby? People change?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. A piece of paper that says I shouldn't come within 100 yards cannot stop me if I really wanted to do damage to someone. To think it could is absurd. If I didn't care about my life, which in times of temporary insanity has occurred, and I were willing to jeopardize my future, then nothing can stop me from going over to her house right now, especially not a stupid piece of paper. Of course, the cops would then arrive after the fact, and I'd be long gone, just like that. If I really wanted that, which I don't, because I still very much am in love with her, no matter how she feels, which I realize is vital, this is how I feel. Coincidentally, if I ever attempted such a thing, I certainly take out everyone else who I strongly believe has conspired against our relationship and we're rooting for its downfall, even though I'm painfully aware it's entirely and solely my fault for her breaking up with me. Others, particularly one individual, played their hand in the matter, and that individual is coming up. If I choose to, I'd repeatedly stick my knife in that person without mercy and with pleasure. We can cut this up into 3 or 4 or 5 things on YouTube. My sick and empty feeling will be with me for a long time. Eventually, it gets numb, but never fully goes away. I know, since I've been through the situation many times before. In a relationship, I'm Mr. Wonderful. I couldn't be better, except for the financial thing. But break up with me if the sex was through the roof and if I cherished you, and then some serious shit is gonna go down. That's guaranteed. It's just me. I've had plenty of relationships fall apart where I just walked away from the girl peacefully, when the girl didn't mean all that much, and times when the breakups were the total opposite of peaceful, with all hell breaking loose. I didn't even have to be in a relationship to stalk someone. I've stalked my mother, I've stalked my sister, I've stalked my brother, I've stalked my father, I've stalked my friends, previous places of employment, I've stalked my cousins. Did you know I didn't have a brother? I didn't have a brother. I don't have a brother. Well, there you go. Don't believe all this shit you hear. If I didn't get my way and had no control in a matter involving anyone, I tried to grasp at any control possible. That included finding out what people were doing, going, and saying. If I had to get physical and verbally abusive, mainly a lot of verbal, then I gladly would if I saw myself regaining even pieces of some control, even if those pieces were at the end of a long tunnel. If for one split second I saw what seemed to be the light, signifying control, I'd verbally launch myself at the target viciously, stalk them without end, and do whatever I had to in order to make myself feel better. My last girlfriend put down in the restraining order that she was scared of me. The worst, most awful feeling in the world is to have someone you once loved so dearly, whom you still love and want, and who loved you in return so enormously and preciously, be scared of you. If she's writing some wayward cowboy, then she has good reason to be scared. Otherwise, the way I used to caress her, love her, kiss her, I'd never in a million years harm her physically. But if I ever did see her with someone, it could go both ways. I could either walk away or smash her damn teeth in and take her by the head and grind her nose into a brick wall until it drips blood profusely. What happens to me? May God forgive me for what I know. This is not normal to think. She's out there right now. Who knows who she's laughing with, talking to, making dates with, arrangements with? It drives me mad. I had dreams of breaking into her house in the middle of the night, wearing gloves, oversized size 14 shoes, and a mask, gouging her sleeping body with a fork constantly until she's dead and making sweet love to her corpse. What the fuck? It would serve her right for leaving me. I was getting financially ready. She didn't stick around. The hell with her. My 10th grade English teacher kept me after class one day. She expressed her concern that I had written about a dead woman at the bottom of an empty pool. She asked if I wanted to speak to a counselor. I turned her down. I didn't say it, but I liked expressing myself the way I wanted. That was me. And I didn't see anything wrong with it. I never wanted to write about Mother's Day and presents like everyone else. I preferred sharing that I got into a major argument with my mom on Mother's Day and ended up hitting her over the head with my sister's tricycle. In these memoirs, I aim to share most everything I dare remember and boldly admit, and what I haven't subconsciously blocked out for my own survival. In my anger management classes, which I proudly can say I volunteer to go, since no one makes me go, in which I was never court ordered for, the head counselor, with all the convicted and severely violent thugs that have come and gone and sit in his presence, calls me Mr. Abusive. I don't see it. He doesn't have a name for anyone else, by the way. This area will also be discussed extensively, as well as my upbringing and where I think my deep anger comes from. Not forgetting all the good stuff about arrests, restraining orders, 3 to date, my victims, the future, and educational advice on how to easily avoid being stalked if the problem should arise. At the end of this, some might understand me. Most will hate me, join the club, and others might see a side that's human, that's normal, that perhaps they can relate to. A person who cries, has feelings, experienced tragic losses in life, who yearns to love and be loved and to be kissed, and a man who is misguided, never had help from anyone, never caught a single break, never had many friends or any friends, but is social, a man lost in life who wants to find his way and have peace within himself. I won't get sympathy, but these words I must write. I am compelled. As long as I'm writing in here or talking or reading my book here, I'm not out there bothering anyone. I'll share what I've learned about relationships and women in general, not to mention what I really think of women when I'm stalking them or not. Understanding them is the key, and I think I finally got it. I'll discuss what I think of stalking celebrities and if I stalked any and why, loneliness, depression, my living conditions, and how I have nothing to lose in life will be gone forever. How many people really hate me? And how many of those are deserved? I'm not currently suicidal and haven't been for years, which is a good thing, since plenty of girl would be happy if I killed myself. But that's not going to happen. It's just not my style. I enjoy being the one chasing, whether it's for the purpose of getting revenge, trying to regain some control, or sheer desperation. That's what I do. I'm trying throughout all this to try and just live my own life, but I know that's impossible without her. My father once said before passing away years ago that one day I'll end up in prison. I really hope not. If I did anything, first, I'd feel justified. Then, I'd feel good about it. And lastly, I'll get the hell out of town. Remember the Oklahoma bomber who went to a nearby hotel? That's not me. I get the fuck far as possible. And just as a footnote, I'd never hurt innocent people, nor would I hurt children. I love children more than anything. Well, not like Michael Jackson did, but I don't know why I just said that. Ask any child in my family and other families, kids that I've made laugh and so forth. Children love me more than their own fathers because no one plays Ride the Pony and 1,000 other games, Oscar, like me. Oscar, we'll get into that another time. I would take care of only those who screwed me, no matter how much at fault I was, and I wouldn't feel remorseful. Although I might tell the judge that I am very much regretful. No matter how many times at the end of my last relationship I pleaded with the girl to stay with me, I'm sure I sounded like a fucking wimp, expressed the most logical statements about my good intentions and our promising future together. Nothing worked. Someone told me later that women are emotional creatures and don't respond to logic when they've been hurt. I never thought of it that way. That makes sense. Why else would she leave a great person like myself? Some say I was abusive, but I didn't start cursing at her until after she dumped me and my feelings were hurt. Granted, I called her mom a stupid, ugly, fat cow and told her to go buy some teeth for her dad. But what was said was said. She probably wasn't coming back to me ever again anyway. One paragraph left. I apologize for the heat. This is like, you're like an Amazon employee, right? I'm not telling you to go get a popsicle. She probably wasn't coming back to me ever again anyway. Probably not. She wasn't responding to logic. Once she was mad as hell anyway. It comes back to me. I didn't get a job. I didn't propose. And it never got her a ring. Not when it counted. All her friends were getting married. They all got married one after another with my luck. Even her ugly friend got married. You like that one? That just made her madder. Ugly friend got married, not her. There's just no two ways about it. I simply fucked up royally this time. And there's no better way to say it. She was a keeper. And she still is. I'll find a way to get her back someday. I even told her if she tampers herself with another man, she'll be filth. Just a piece of garbage that went from one man's highest pedestal, a dream of a virgin bride, to a common everyday tramp worth nothing. But I told her that I love her so much that I would take her back anyway. No resentment. I would start with a clean slate. She won't hear of it. She'll come around one day after some guys chew her up and spit her out. I guess I'm just heartbroken. It's supposed to be, quote, for better or for worse, the way it should be. But it didn't turn out that way. So this is my story. Welcome to my world. Wait. Did you shut it off? Good. So I just want to say chapter 1 is coming up. And in chapter 1, even though it's not in the book at all or in book 2, I will reveal this woman's, the main character, the antagonist. I will reveal her real true name for our audio listeners. Boom.